next to October 14th, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Village Board. If you'll stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Here.
Holston?
Here.
Horn?
Here.
Pop?
Here.
And Racick?
Present.
Madam Board, we have anybody for the invocation for tonight. We're going to open the public agenda items only. If you have comments, please come to the podium if you would like to mention the item. Okay. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Okay, Pop and Liston. Roll call, please.
Trustee Holston?
Yes.
Horn?
Yes.
Pop?
Yes.
Racick?
Yes.
And Gonzalez?
Yes.
With the board's blessings, I'd like to kind of jump around a couple of things. We've got beautification award. We'd like to get handed out because we have people here for that. But we also have our labor attorneys here for our executive session. So if we can just, if that's okay, can we go ahead and do the beautifications? I'm going to try to be ready. Are you able to make the presentation of that? Thank you.
Just to keep everybody in the loop, I remember, or I don't know if you remember, several months ago, it was probably the end of May, that we announced our first beautification awards that was going to be conducted by the village in keeping, try to get the village kind of up to snuff and make everybody proud of where we live and everything. And we had, at the very last minute, we had several contestants, if you will, and we have some of our winners here tonight. So we'd like to make those presentations for our Beautification Awards winners tonight. So if we have anybody to accept those, would you please come up? We have the Wodowitz family on Daffodil Lane.
If they want to stay, we can go.
Read this.
Okay. If you just want to wait. Okay.
And the Thomas family.
Just go away.
Thank you. Over this side, so you can get your picture. Thomas family.
Yes.
Thank you. There's somebody from the Rentners here tonight, the Rentner family.
Stay up here, Dick.
And the Martino family, I know they had a sick baby at home, so couldn't make it. Oh, and lo and behold, the Holston family. Do we have somebody from the Holston family here?
Thank you, sir.
And for the record, she did all the work.
Then the Crizel family. Do we have somebody from the Crizel family here? I wondered why he was walking. I was like, so, and just so everybody knows, yes, we'd love to make this an annual event. We had 7 winners this year and a couple more entrants too. So again, we're going to make this an annual event. So next spring too. So please be on the lookout for those forms coming in the mail. and the Crizell family.
Your wife should be this year.
Yeah.
Tell her to get up here.
Al's wife.
Connie.
Come on, Connie.
Connie, come on.
Trustees
Trustees get your seat. Just say, wait a second.
Hurry up.
Okay, I'll skip. I'm the short one.
Oh, my.
That's all right.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Jim, move just a little bit so I can see.
Doesn't matter. You put your fingers over your eyes.
Thank you, everyone.
At this point, what you want, go ahead and go into executive session and come back for regular business.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So that's Gonzalez, Horn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Holston. Horn.
Yes.
Pop.
Yes.
Grayson. And Gonzalez.
Yes.
Just to clarify, because for management to guidance listed under executive session, we're just preemptively going to that, which includes labor and personnel matters. $50, I'll entertain a motion to return from executive session.
I'll make that motion.
Pop and Raisik. Roll call, please.
Trustee Racick.
Yes.
Gonzalez. Here. Holston.
Present.
Horn. Here. And Pop.
Yes.
We'll return to our... Yes. Clerk's report.
No report.
I got nothing.
Amen.
Wow. Coals look good.
I seem to recall previous mayor, when I was trustee, I came in so I could barely talk, he said, "Thank you, Jesus."
Hope you get good on that.
Anyhow, Administrator Batista.
Thank you, Mayor. First item is Best Finances. I'm going to defer that report to Trustee Horn. He'll do that during his finance report. The second item under Administrator is a discussion regarding bus purchase. Back on September the 9th, the village board's consensus purchased a bus, a refurbished Pace bus, 16-passenger, 2006 Ford, I believe it's a F-450 with a wheelchair lift. We purchased that for a pretty good price. It was $5,000, and it was purchased for Parks and Rec and for EMA. And currently, we are looking at multi-uses. It's been used so far on an EMA training exercise. We've also used it during Fall Fest as a shuttle. And currently, Director Mary Jo Benson is looking into researching the use of the bus to transport seniors and those that are disabled, to do weekly weekly grocery shopping. So we're exploring those avenues now. And we can gather that information and later we'll present it to the board going.
That's great. Thank you.
And that's the end of
May I make a comment about the bus? The bus is immaculate. When I just walked in it, everything works on it. It was and I'll use the word, it was a steal. It was a no-brainer to buy that bus for $5,000. It's in pretty good condition, if not very good condition. End of statement.
Okay. All right, at this time, we'll go to the official reports. Public Works. Trustee Green, Sarah here.
Yes, thank you. Trustee Gray is not here today, and I wanted to speak on behalf of him, so thank you. Wanted to remind the residents that water bills are due on Saturday. By between 9 and 12, they can pay at the Village Hall. Also, they can pay online, PSN. If they go to the Village website, they can go to the home page, hit Pay My Bill, they can pay their bill. Monday is shut-offs for the residents, so if you have not paid your water bill, please do so. We've implemented a new policy procedure that we're trying out where we're also re-notifying residents by hanging door tags on to remind them, please pay your bill. We do not want to shut water off, so we're actually delivering notices tomorrow to remind them to please pay their bill. It's just another courtesy we're trying to provide to remind people to pay their bill. Right now we have 125 people on the late have not paid my bill yet notice, which takes a lot of time, manpower time to deliver these notices, but it's because we're trying to save the residents money by doing so. We send out the first notice, 30 days later we send out the yellow notice, and this is now a third type of notice that we're trying to do just to combat the shutoffs. It's worked successfully thus far. It's reduced the shutoff, people shut off, giving them an extra reminder. It's a cost to the village with the manpower having to do it, but it helps the residents if it slipped their mind or if they have other worries and obligations that they're dealing with. It's just slipped their mind. So the program's worked thus far, and again, I think it's reduced our shutoffs significantly during the actual Monday time and saved us a lot of time. So that's really what's going on right now in Public Works, other than fall cleanup, getting ready for the winter time. Vehicles are getting converted over already into snow equipment. We're asking residents to please check their mailboxes, that they're secure. Now's the time. We don't want to have to worry about them popping off if snow hits them. We also are getting ready, as the road improvement program has ended, with just kind of the final cleanups. Everybody's sod has been installed. The watering has been taking place, and the full restoration seems to be going pretty good. So that's been taken care of, and it's fall mode. We're ready for Halloween happening. So other than that, we're getting ready. So that concludes my report. Anybody have any questions?
If I can ask a question, and you know, putting the door tags on the doors, could you tell me the man hours involved in that? Is it one person for 8 hours?
This has been a new policy that I haven't really been able to give an accurate report on that as of yet, because the number that we did last time was significantly lower. I can't put a finger on as to why the totals are higher. Maybe school, kids going back to school, because of previous months, tuition costs, maybe, you know, finances went elsewhere. I can't really put a finger on it. This time, I usually employ 2 people to do it. It gets it done faster. I kind of split the town in half. With this one being one of the largest notifications, I'm hoping we can get them delivered rather quickly. What I've realized that takes the time is the office staff having to prepare these letters. So I have my office staff going through, and it takes time to do these letters. We're implementing a new door hanger system that'll be a lot easier so that we can deliver these notices faster to save time, as well as once it's shut off, the red hanger that says it's been shut off, please pay your water. So these are things that you know, we're just trying to streamline productivity while they're there. And I wish I had a better answer for you, but because it's a new program, we either are getting the money by doing the shutoffs and charging $100, and then that's met with some rebuttal, or we're trying to preemptively just get the residents to pay their bills. They're on hardships as it is, and that extra $100 is just another hardship that I'm trying to manage with the department. And once I realize if it's helping the residents and it's
Well,
not that bad of a
I'm
cost.
sure the residents do appreciate that, although I wonder if it truly is above and beyond
Absolutely.
what is, obviously it's above what's required. I'm wondering if people are going to appreciate that. I mean, you're still gonna have the scuttlebutt on social media no matter what you do, but.
Again, I totally understand that, and that's always been my stance. You know, we notify twice. We've heard everything under the sun, that the post office doesn't deliver it. I didn't know. You know, you hear all that, and you also understand, as you know, we talk about, there's hardships out there that we really don't know what families are dealing with. So it's just about trying to just pay for the utility, and because we're doing this, you know, maybe they won't appreciate it. That's not what I'm looking for. I just want them to pay the bill. We need the revenue, and that's what we're looking for.
One last question, is it true you're gonna put a plow on the front of that bus?
No, no plow on the front of the bus. So, all right. Any other questions? Thank you. Have a great night.
Parks and Rec.
Just a few things, and I think that was mentioned just a couple minutes ago, moving on to Halloween happenings on Halloween night this year. Obviously, Halloween falls on a Saturday, which is kind of neat. So we are going ahead with our Halloween happenings from, the trick-or-treat hours in the village are from 3 to 7 p.m. And then Halloween happenings are gonna go from 6 to 9 p.m. We're gonna have pumpkins for the first 100, 150, 200, however many we can get. Pumpkins for kids to do. We'll have a costume contest and various other activities, and of course the free hot dogs and hot chocolate and everything, and the hay rides as well. So please come and enjoy that. Again, and that's happening right on the 31st.
Trustee
And-
Gonzalez.
Yes,
Are we sure it's gonna be a hayride or a sleigh ride like it was last year?
I'm okay with either, so I'm hoping everybody else is too. And two other things too. The other thing that I wanted to make, and this has nothing to do, it's kind of Parks and Rec, but has nothing to do with Monee Parks and Rec, is the Monee Women's Club is hosting the first ever vendor fair and business showcase. And the whole premise behind that is there were so many ladies, so many women who had home-based businesses or had their own businesses or something that they run a business here in town. And we wanted to showcase that and show all the residents how much talent we actually, and things are available right here in town. So that's gonna be held right here at Village Hall on Saturday, November 7th, from 10 to 2. So please, if you know any ladies who would want to become vendors, you can contact me, or just invite everybody to come and participate. That would be wonderful. And the third thing is my own nagging. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so I'm telling everybody here, if you haven't done it already this year, please have your mammos grammed. And if you are in a position of authority or have somebody at home that needs to have that done, please remind them that they need to have their mammograms done once a year after age of 40, and early detection saves lives. End of report.
Finance, Trustee Horn.
I'll start out with the Fall Fest. Let me run some numbers for you. These are rounded numbers. We did very good this year. Sponsorship revenue, we received $19,000 for that. Food vendor revenue, $3,600 for that. Beer sales were $7,500. Carnival profit was $7,200. Our total revenue was $43,500. Our total expenses were $45,700. So we basically broke even. This is even with, let's see, I know we had some rain, right? Was that set Friday night? And some cold nights, and so we had some, of course, you know, the weather wasn't completely agreeable, so we did very good. I think that the breaking even is very good to do on something like this. What else?
Trustee Horn.
Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not sure how it affected the bottom line, but I know there's like a lot of compliments to Mary Jo for the wristband the Maggie Pass and what you could.
Yes, and thank you for reminding me, because that was a very big, very good revenue generator for us and very convenient for people as well. I think we sold, I'm not sure about the exact number on the.
118.
Oh, wow.
118? Now I do know the exact number, it is 118, yes. So,
Okay. Anything else?
I do. Let's just talk a little bit about our numbers for the general budget. The village's total assets increased to approximately, by approximately 7.56 million in fiscal year 2015. The total net position of the village is 17.19 million at the end of the year. At the end of the fiscal year 2015, the village's governmental funds reported a combined ending fund balance of 15.52 million, an increase of 7.48 million from the previous year. The reason for that, of course, is, well, I'll get into that, the long-term debt of the village increased by 5.76 million during the fiscal year as a result of the village making principal payments and issuing general obligation bonds of 6.6 million. So that's one of the reasons our assets went up, because of the general obligation bonds. So we're doing very well financially. Finance department's working on the village's treasury report, which is due October 31. And newsflash, the state has still not passed a state budget. It's been over 100 days, and we have not received our scheduled payments for motor fuel tax or gaming revenues. However,
LGDF as well.
I don't have that information. So,
They're saying
yes.
That is correct. We've been getting slow payments on the LGDF as well. Not as much as we've been anticipated, but they're kind of holding back on those payments as well.
So that's all I have.
Thank you. Business development, trustee Olson.
Yes, thank you to Kevin Daly for the information, and I'll pass this on to the clerk for minutes. Cliff and Tommy's is under new ownership. Product has changed slightly. Liquor is no longer served, but they're still open at the same location. Stopped in some time and welcome the new owners to the village. Advanced Mobility is Monee business that's right outside. I've been by it over down the road. They convert truck trailers to mobile MRI units. Their owner, after meeting with Kevin Daly, participated in a Calumet Green Manufacturing Partnership program on October 1st, which assembles high school students across the region to hear a presentation from leaders. So hopefully he was able to recruit some people into that kind of a business. And then Mr. Daly and the mayor were on October 7th and 8th in a ICSC deal-making conference at Navy Pier. Met a number of people who had talked about hearing the Monee radio advertisements on the radio. And according to Mr. Daly, he's received a number of calls at the village hall referencing ads and inquiring about opportunities to join the community. That's in my report.
Thank you, sir. Can't say building services and code enforcement.
Yes, I just have one item. JTR now has completed their sign. It's 100%, and if you recall earlier, they said that that could be another place that we could advertise at times on their sign on activity within the village, which is a plus for us on Route 50. And I believe we have a fund that helps businesses when they improve and do certain things. I believe JTR might be looking for a small reimbursement of some kind for that. I'm not positive on that.
The agreement's in place and
Yes.
the attorney process.
And I might just say that I believe the building department is getting itself in order. It's helping us quite a bit, taking a lot of pressure off different individuals within our administration, let's put it that way. End of report.
Thank you, sir. Public safety and police.
Yeah, I got a few items. For EMA, on September 26th, Monee EMA assisted the Monee Police Department with the Run for Their Lives 5K run. On September 29th, Monee EMA conducted a 3-hour joint search and rescue exercise with Cree EMA, and they worked on the radio communication land navigations, and first aid response. The village is moving forward with National Incident Management System called NIMS to get certification of compliance. NIMS compliance necessary to receive federal disaster relief funding, and NIMS training instructions sent to each elected official's email addresses. And for police, just another reminder, trick-or-treating hours from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the report.
Attorney report.
Thank you, Mayor. We got 3 items for the board's consideration. The first item is an ordinance regarding amending Title III, Chapter 3, Section 20. I believe we discussed this back in June. I was asked to bring it up tonight for the board's review and consideration. It basically pertains to amending it to indicate Liquor Control Act of 1934. That's all we're doing in this ordinance, is changing the wording.
Oliver. I believe, I know you trustee raised it down for that, I believe trustee Holson also said to be a sponsor for that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So we'll, with that amendment to the cover page, I'll entertain a motion to approve the. I'll make the motion. Raise it. Second by Holson. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Yes.
Holston,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
Raisik.
Yes.
There'll be ordinance 1731.
Thank you. The next item is an ordinance amending Title IX by adding Chapter 13 of the Village Code. This pertains to donation boxes. I believe we put restrictions in place as to requirements of when a donation box can be placed and where it can be placed. I do not believe this has been changed since the board meeting in, I believe in June. I believe trustee Horn agreed to sponsor this one.
Well, I'm just reviewing this one here to make sure this is one we have. I know there's a slight typo on line 81, and we just want to make sure that's cleaned up. There's a gap there. Where's it? The section that we were going to amend. I'm sorry, not this one. That's fine. That one's fine. I thought I was missing something there. That's the next one. Where's it from me? Trustee Lawrence, page 1.
Yes, I have trustee Horn. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
With the correction on line 81 to eliminate the typo and the correction of trustee Horn's name on the cover, I'll entertain a motion to approve item K2.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Discussion.
You raise it? Yes, sir.
Line 78, through 82 indicates that all persons, companies, corporations, or entities causing any donation box to be placed within the village shall furnish to the village a performance bond for a minimum of $10,000. This means my church, which has a clothing box, would now pay $1,000?
No, it's not supposed to the church.
It says all persons, company, corporate. I don't see any exceptions for churches.
Hold on a second. Let me make sure that's right, trustee Olson. My understanding was, Larry, that this is supposed to be for the, not so much the host of the box, but the person causing it to be placed, or the company that's delivering it. That was my interpretation.
Yes, sir. I believe you're correct, Your Honor. We could indicate, you know, to clarify it, except for religious organizations.
So I don't think we can draw an exception to that, though. So I think you have to have the, how do I say this? The company that owns the box, not the property owner, but the company that owns the box.
Okay.
Or delivers it, or, you know, and that's the reason why it says causes to be placed there. So whoever put it there is ultimately whoever's responsible for it, not the person who approved it to be on the property. because we've had problems with the boxes that have been delivered to people's property, and they didn't approve it. So it's not the property owner's fault sometimes.
Yeah, you're correct, Your Honor. It does not indicate landowner, it does indicate all persons causing any donation box to be placed within the village. So, from the wording, I would assume it would be the person asking for permission to place it on the site.
Correct.
And it does not indicate anything, nothing in this ordinance indicates that it's the responsibility of the property owner. It should be the responsibility of the person asking for permission to place it on the site.
Does that make sense? Trustee
Can I
Olson?
just ask just a question, just in reference to the box that you guys have in the parking lot there? Did somebody call the church and ask to put a donation box in the parking lot?
You know, it's been there so many years, I don't know, but I was just using that as an example.
Well, that's the only thing I have to go by to, so.
Are we including this to be a box that might be on top of the pizza restaurant over here down the road? Or B, a bid they give a gift, that we call that a donation box?
Part of the problem we ran into is even talking to a couple of property owners that have inherited boxes on the property that they now own, has been when there's been a clutter.
I'm talking about a box that's big.
I'm not sure what you're talking about.
What do we define as a donation box?
Typically, those big blue nasty things that have shoes and clothes and everything hanging out of them.
If I may, Trustee Holston, under line 59, it says donation boxes shall not exceed 6.5 feet in height.
Okay. That works.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, no, it doesn't. What if it's under 6, what if it's 5, I mean, what if it's 12 inches? That's a donation box, that's my question.
Okay, Trustee Olson, I'm sorry, I do not know what box you're referring to.
The Monee Historical Society has collection containers at restaurants and pizza.
Inside the restaurant?
Inside the restaurant.
Well, that's not our concern, inside the restaurant.
You're talking just public streets.
We're talking about parking lots and things of that sort. That was the concern.
And if it's private property,
It still becomes an issue of property maintenance. And property owners have actually discussed the fact that they've had issues with some of the boxes and such that have been, when they acquired the property. This gives them latitude, almost like a landlord license requirement that we've talked about in the past. It kind of gives a little latitude for them to say, hey, listen, you're not keeping this up, it's looking bad on me. Code enforcement's out giving me grief because of the mess that you're leaving by not servicing the box routinely. That causes that to be dealt with.
Yes.
Okay.
but to clarify then, using St. Paul's United Church of Christ as an example, they have a clothing donation box that's been out there for years.
Sure.
Under this, the people who put that box in would have to pay $1,000.
No, it's not, they don't have to pay. They just have to make sure there's a performance bond naming the village, just like any contractor would have anything that's being done in Northern Village. And a performance bond doesn't cost the dollar amount stated on it. That's just a surety bond.
And I believe, Your Honor, if they're a large enough community, they have one like blanket performance bond, and all they have to do is list, say, the Village of Monee under the bond
So
itself.
if you have 5 boxes in town, it's right. So exposure for liability.
Yes, sir.
We have a motion, we have a second. Thank you, Fred.
Warren moved, Raisik seconded.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Holston?
No.
Warren?
Yes.
Pop?
No.
Raisik?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
No.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Larry, I'm sorry, real quick. I know we didn't pass this as an ordinance at that point, because it was 3-2 against. Do we need any reference of an ordinance number if it was voted down?
I don't believe so, Your Honor, because the ordinance wasn't approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. The last ordinance for the board's consideration is an ordinance amending Title IX by adding Chapter 12 to the Village Code. This pertains to roll-off dumpsters I believe we talked about this in June and May of this year. I believe there was one change which we added about the 15 consecutive days. It's up for the board's review and consideration. What we're attempting to do is, again, not restrict, but have certain requirements for roll-off dumpsters, so they're not there for an extended period of time.
I just want to make sure that in this particular version of it, that you had updated it in board's request previously, that this is in order to give the exception for construction permits.
I believe I did, we've entered line 50 there. Except for the construction of the commercial industrial facility, a roll-off dumpster should not be placed on a property for more than 15 consecutive days.
I don't know if that covers it, Larry, because perhaps, so that would mean that they'd be allowed to have, just want to make sure you're just consistent with what we're indicating for, that would allow for, this one, as long as somebody has a construction permit, they can have a dumpster on the property as long as they have a open building permit.
Yes, sir.
And you were making a similar change to the other order pertaining to pods.
Pods.
Okay, and we'll deal with that another time.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve item K3.
I just have one more question, I'm sorry.
No problem.
On section 10, there's a person who is convicted of a violation of this section shall be subject to a fine pursuant to section 114.11 of this code per day as the violation exists. Do we know what section, what the,
That's our fee and fine schedule. That's-
yeah, I know, so is that the section 114.11 of one of the big ordinances that did not pass yet?
Yes, ma'am, I don't think that one passed. That would be, hopefully this would be heard in-house,
Through adjudication.
through adjudicator.
But those have not passed yet.
Well, 114.11 does exist on our current books, it's just, where it's silent, it automatically assumes not
Yes.
to exceed.
Yes, we have one on the books, trustee Gonzalez has been on the books for probably, off the top of my head, maybe 8 to 10 years. But in our previous discussions, we talked about changing it, but as of today's date, we haven't changed it.
So section 1-14-11 is that $50 or the $10, it says per day of this code per day as the violation exists.
Correct. The exact dollar amount, I'm not sure what it is, but whatever the code calls for, and again, that's been probably, she needs something in order to install a fine against a violator. But it's not the fine structure that we talked about roughly, yeah, I was gonna say 2 or 3 months ago.
That was my concern.
No, it hasn't passed, it's up for discussion, but it's not up for tonight.
And I think the point there is to put all the fees and fines in one section instead of having to go through it because of the trouble that Larry had in trying to review some of the things that need to be addressed. They had to do with parsing the entire village code to find every nuance of every
Correct.
fee and fine. And it's just more applicable to put all the fee and fines in one area.
So the adjudicator can refer to one section there.
Right, that 14.11 has to do with the
Yes.
fines.
Need a motion?
I do.
I'll entertain a motion.
I mean, Raisik and Olson.
Okay, sorry.
That's right.
So if this section is indeed Doug found the codifier on it, and it just says of the code per day as the violation exists, if it just reverts back to this language now, it's $25 on or before the date of the hearing set as assigned,
or $50 if paid after the first hearing date. So could this language be in there, or should we?
I would just respectfully still keep the 11411, otherwise what we're gonna be doing on each ordinance is stating the fine structure, and it's probably best that it refers to 11411, because most of them have talked about that, and then the adjudicator just goes to 11411. I think eventually if the board changes to the 11411, we can talk about it then, but right now I'd leave it the way it is.
Okay, sorry, thanks.
Yeah, regardless of what amounts are determined by the board, it was Larry and the adjudicator basically identified the practical aspect of having all that in one place as a quick lookup. Any more discussion? I got a motion.
I'm sorry, thanks.
No, that's fine, that's fine. Roll call, please.
Trustee Holston,
Yes.
Horn,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
Raisik,
Yes.
and Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Ordinance 1732.
That's all I have, man.
And I know you'll be bringing others up in the future.
Yes, next board meeting, I hope to have a few more.
Okay, old business?
I'm just gonna bring up one thing that was on on Mr. Holston's report earlier. You had mentioned from Mr. Daly that he had had several conversations or several phone calls when he went to that Navy Pier thing. And you and I had talked about it before. Have you written down, are you keeping track of any of these phone calls, of any specific people that mentioned the radio ads at all?
I have made note in the, I have a note in the discussions that I've had with these people. However, I wouldn't want to divulge their identity in public.
And I'm
at
not
this
asking
stage.
that.
Okay.
All I'm saying, I'm not asking anybody to divulge anything.
Mhm.
I was just making sure, because that's what we get asked about. You know, if we're spending money on these radio ads, we want to make sure it's working for us. So if you're saying that you're getting phone calls, great, just so it's on paper somewhere that we are actually getting phone calls about it. That's all I was saying. So just to make mention of it, and that we're getting calls on it. So that's what we can tell the people out in the community.
If I may say,
Yeah, please.
in all due respect to our employees, administrative heads, whatever, when you're going to talk, please come up to the microphone. If people struggle enough to hear us, I think I could hear you pretty good, Kevin, but I couldn't hear Daryl. So, you know, on his comments, and that helps the people a lot when they watch the meetings. So if you could come up to the mic, I think it's appreciated.
Understood.
I know it can make you make a lot of trips, but so be it.
Yes, for a
Thank you.
week too. Someday maybe. Anyhow, new business?
Yeah, I have new business, Mayor, an announcement that Cubs won the National League Division. God bless them. And I just want to cheer them on. That's my new business. Thank you. And I like the Sox too, by the way.
You don't get to say that very often.
No, that's why I mentioned it. It was a biggie.
Open to the public, non-agenda items. Please come to the podium, address, and your comments in about 3 minutes if you can.
My name is Sheila Pollock. I live at 25610 Baltus Road in Gulf Vista. Recently, I was perusing the internet and I came across a website, Trulia, I believe it's pronounced, TRULIA.com. It's, I believe, a real estate website that deals in manufactured homes and trailers. On this website, they're advertising a piece of property at 25757 Marion, which is in Gulf Vista. They're advertising it as 51 person must be 55 and older, and one may be 40 or older. Now, I don't recall ever talking about 40 in any of the negotiations we've had with them. That is a direct violation of a village ordinance. I would like to see a cease and desist letter issued I'd like to have them take it down within 5 days or a citation be issued. Also, I would like to know where that information came from. Who gave them permission to say 40? 40 is pretty young. The other thing is, I believe Gulf Vista needs more support from the village of Monee. Now, I have not gotten up here very often or ever and talked to you people, but I really like Gulf Vista and I like Monee. And as you all know, in the last year, Gulf Vista has gone to hell in a handbag. I think we need for someone to go over there and talk or make, I just don't know what, but talk to this Kevin Marcus. You're not going to get anywhere with present management, but I think they should know that your head isn't in the sand, that you're aware that they're violating an ordinance. I just think we need some help from the village of Monee. My second thing, and I understand there's nothing that can be done about it, in Gulf Vista, there's a service road between Baltusrol and Shinnecock. It's a mess. It was put there for emergency vehicles. I understand those are not dedicated roads and that, you really can't do anything about it, but a fire truck can't get through there. And when it rains, nobody can get through there. I have seen an ambulance had to follow a fire truck out in order to get through the snow last winter because they don't plow it. Now, at least if you could just talk to them about it and suggest that they do something. They just get away with doing whatever they feel like doing over there. Thank you.
Anybody else?
My name is Chad Simpson. My secondary address is 5160 Court Street. I'm the president of the Maverick Football and Chair. I just wanted to make a couple announcements. All our football levels made it to the second round. They had a bye for the first round at all levels. We are playing out in Wilmington this weekend. I'm inviting all of you guys out to support. The times are on our website at maverickfootballcheer.com. I also want to invite you guys out to Reed Custard on October 25th for the cheer competition. And then I also want to thank the village for the supports over the last few years that we've gotten from them and all the help that we got from DJ and the Public Works Department. And to show our appreciation, I'm going to give you guys a plaque of the teams this year. For the playoffs, for the second round playoffs, it's Saturday. The Super Lights go on at 10 a.m. Our JV team goes on at 1 o'clock. And then Sunday, our lightweight team goes on at 11:30, and our varsity goes on at 2:30. And hopefully, we all make it through, and we'll be down in Mantino the following week.
They're all in Wilmington now, on the
Yes.
Wilmington fields, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad. Thank you, Chad. The chair's also.
Back to the previous young lady who spoke.
Michael, a bye is because the team did so well? They earned a bye?
Yes,
Very good. So all levels earned a bye.
correct.
I guess you guys are doing a good job.
Yeah, they're doing awesome this year.
Great.
One other mention.
Very good.
It's cold.
Thank you.
One other mention I gotta make sure I make, the JV team took first place in their division. So, and they went 8-0 this year. So they're going in as the #1 place team.
I have a question, you coming back next year?
As we mentioned, that Chad is also, not only is he overcommitted to the success of the youth through the football and cheer program, he's also a vital member of our EMA program, and we appreciate his participation there as well. So, thank you, Chad, for all that you do as well.
Thanks, Chad.
Trustee Olson, you.
Sorry, the previous lady mentioned And trustee Razak looked it up real quick, she is correct, it does say that,
Must be over 40.
must be over 40. I believe that is a violation.
It is. Attorney Gurcheski has been in the process of compiling a formal complaint against them. And there's you understand this, I mean, it's not an easy process. It's not like a single violation at a single household or a business. This is a very serious issue that has to do with the entire agreement there. And I'm aware of the fact that there has been petitions that were also being processed through some of the homeowners in the association there. So Attorney Gurcheski has been working on a formal, I guess, a complaint, if you will, to deal with this. And I honestly don't know the current status is on that, but it is something we are working on, so you're aware of that. And we just gotta make sure we do it correctly, so that whatever we do does stand up legally. And we also wanna make sure that the penalty for the company not conforming to the agreement beyond the fines that are available to be assessed against them. Ultimately, if they fail to conform consistently, it means it reverts back to the most restrictive residential zoning, which would be R3, which is estate homes, which is about 2 to 3 acre parcels. That is something we're being very delicate about, just so you understand. Because if it reverts back to R3 zoning, modular homes would not meet that criteria. So we gotta be very careful how we handle that.
Have we had meetings with anybody over there?
Yes. So we're very cognizant. We're just trying to deal with it the right way so that we get the right results. And that's not always as easy as it sounds. I'll just leave it at that if that's okay.
May I make a comment?
Yeah, please.
Sheila, because you're one of my neighbors, I must say to you that our attorneys, is it your daughter, sir, that's in labor? His daughter's in labor and he needs to get home.
No.
Well, I mean, to be there for his wife, if she needs to go or whatever it may be, if you want to take a moment or two, he may give you a moment or two at a time to tell you something in private that we wouldn't want to broadcast, let me say it that way, to protect all you people and myself in Gulf Vista. So there are complications, as the mayor mentioned, it goes far more reaching than you would believe when we get involved in anything like this. So Larry might give you a couple minutes of his time. Sorry, Larry.
No, that's fine.
And at any given point in time during the week, Larry's not here except for when we have special meetings that require his presence. He's available to us. But there's nothing, Ms. Pollack, there's nothing that keeps you from coming in and talking to the administrator or even myself about some of your concerns as well. So the door's open for that as well. We are working on it. We have people that are bringing things to our attention. We've got one of the residents from there as well that's on our board, so we're well informed. But we don't always know all the details. So this particular situation here, we're not searching for homes per se. So when you have that kind of stuff, please by all means give us the website address or whatever that you saw it on. I appreciate it. Or you got something to add to that?
No, I think the mayor and trustee Holson and trustee Pops hit it nail on the head. The board's very cognizant of the situation. Sometimes our hands are tied where we can't say too much in public. If we say too much, it hurts us case, it hurts you. But the mayor, all the trustees are very cognizant of the situation. We've been notified for the last 2 or 3 months. But as the mayor indicated, there was an ordinance that was passed, I think it was ordinance 744. And there are certain limitations we have along with the Gulf Vista. And like the mayor indicated, we've got to be, it's a delicate situation. So we're, again, we have to, as I would tell my children, we got to bite our tongues for a while. But we're aware of the situation.
And we're not ignoring it. Anything else under open to the public? Okay. We already got executive session. The time is now 8:38. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Pop and Razor. Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Pop,
Yes.
Raisik,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Westland.
Yes.